Hey guys, and welcome to another review by Lindsay here. Today we are going to be looking at the new Rammstein album, which as of now is untitled, but I think is generally referred to as just Rammstein, as it says on the spine. Of course, this is the album that was released 17th, I think, of this month of May, so only a couple of weeks ago, if that. This is the standard CD edition. This is not the special edition, although I will go into what I believe the differences are between this version and the special edition. However, this still costs £17 as of right now on Amazon. I'm in the UK, I presume it's import or something, because yeah, this is the priciest CD I've ever bought. You know, £17 is quite a lot. But of course, this album is obviously known for its very, very simple cover and title. Of course, it has the single unlit match. In case you're wondering, this is actually slightly embossed. It's slightly obviously raised, which is really quite cool. This is the back as well. It's very simple track listing. Of course, the 11 tracks: Deutschland, Radio, Sie Dich, or Sie Dich, Ausländer, Sex, Pup or Pupper, Was ich liebe, Diamant, Wietweg, Tattoo and Hanneman. If I've completely butchered the pronunciation of that, I do apologise. Of course, I'm a native English speaker. Well, the first thing I noted, I don't know if this is a thing that all German CDs have, or I don't know if this is just for this, but I thought in the pictures it looks to be a slightly different shape to a normal jewel case. That is, of course, a normal jewel case. I'm using Fleetwood Mac's Tango in the Night here. That was my face. A normal jewel case has, of course, it's basically square, except it's slightly longer along this way horizontally, I guess what you'd call the length. And that's, of course, because it has to fit in the CD spine, whereas this CD, or the CD case, I should say. Of course, the CD is the normal dimensions of a CD. The CD case is actually slightly, I guess, wider. I don't know if you'd say, in the way that it is longer this way up the sides than it is this way across, which I think is quite interesting. I don't know if that's, again, something that all German CDs have. You know, for example, with a lot of K-pop, you see they have these, you know, almost books where you have all these different pictures and behind the scenes stuff, and then the CD at the end. So I don't know if it's similar to that, but either way, it's very cool. It's in this normal digipack sort of plastic cardboard feel. It actually feels very nice. Not too glossy. You're not going to get like marks left on it. And of course, on the side it has the Rammstein logo at the top, and then just Rammstein in their font. Then you open it up, and this is what awaits you. I mean, remember, this is, if you're looking for a really complex cover, you know, it's like finding the Beatles' White Album. You know, there's you open it up, and you have this CD on this side, of course, denoted only really by the logo at the top, the normal Rammstein, the R on the cross there, or I think what they use is a T. And then on this side you have nothing except, of course, you can pull out the booklets. The booklets is quite close to the edge already, so you don't have to spend too much time picking it out. So, there, and all that's inside here is just a simple slipcase. So we'll put that to the side, and we shall look at this booklet, because the booklet, of course, is probably the most interesting part of the packaging. So again, on the back it's got the track listing. On the front it's got this. However, this opens up, basically it opens up like this, but it opens up into about 7 or 8 panels. But basically it's got the lyrics for everything. So, you know, Deutschland, Radio, and then as you go across, you know, Sie Dich, Ausländer, Sex, Pupper, Was ich liebe, Diamant, Wietweg, Tattoo and Hanneman. But it's also, of course, got pictures of each member of the band, which I think are very cool. I've seen different positions. Of course, Richard Crisp there, and Till Lindemann. I don't know the other members of Rammstein. I'm a fairly new fan. But yeah, and it probably opens out into like a 8-panel long or so thing. It really is quite impressive. And yeah, this is just a nice little booklet, and this sits nicely. If we get the CD back again, it's very nicely just in here, just in like that. Now, of course, what is the difference between this and the deluxe edition, or the special edition, or whatever they call it, that's on Amazon? There's a few quid more expensive, but it takes longer to dispatch, so I didn't buy that. I don't think much. I think it might have like a cardboard casing. I think perhaps, and I think it's got a slightly larger. Or it might have an actual bound, by Staples booklet. But generally, no, it doesn't have any extra tracks, any extra bonus stuff. So I mean, I'd still probably suggest buying this single edition, because especially if you live in the UK or America, or I presume anywhere other than Germany, or maybe even in Germany, it will probably be, as still expensive, and the special edition might be about a £5 or more than is really worth it. Now, the actual album itself, Deutschland, of course, was the first single we got, I believe, back in March, actually. This is probably still the best song on the album, as it should be, of course, being the lead single. It's got a really wacky video, of course, it caused a lot of controversy, but obviously it's a song about learning from the past, and obviously Till Lindemann, and especially the whole of Rammstein, really realising that, they can't love Germany for what it's done. And it's just a great song. It's got a really lovely, long synth intro, and it hasn't got the most amount of lyrics in the world, but it's just punchy, and it's just, bam, it's good. Of course, one of the things about this album is that it's not exactly what normal Rammstein is. It's got a bit more different varying techniques other than just the I'm not going to say generic, but the normal kind of standard conventional Rammstein, which is, that kind of groovy industrial sort of metal with some, techno and pop elements in. This album definitely introduces a bit more of that, or different, sorry, not more of that, it has that, but it also has a lot of other varied elements which a lot of fans didn't like, or a lot of, I don't know, I presume quite a few of the elitists, or, the kind of people who love their sound, of course, and they have a pre-established sound, of course, whenever any kind of band alternates what they normally do, which is fair enough, but I think it works really well. I think for the most part, fans love this. I mean, it's the first Rammstein album in 10 years, I think, so... I think any Rammstein is great, but Deutschland is just a testament to how good they sound. Radio, as obviously Till Lindemann pronounces it. Again, it's got a really weird video, and it's probably the most radio-friendly song on here. But it's not, you wouldn't hear it in your local branch of B&Q, for example, or Walmart, or whatever, Circle, where appropriate in your nation. But, it really is, radio's got just a really catchy title, really a catchy riff, and it just sounds really good. And this was the second single, I believe, released a month after Deutschland, I think, somewhere middle of April, I want to say. That's another great song. They're probably some of the best songs on the album. Then Sieg Dich, which is probably the fastest song on the album, I think, or the fastest track at least. Probably the fastest track on the album, or one of them. It begins with this really lovely Latin sort of choral beginning, and quickly descends into, just this really almost speed metal type of speed. I think Sieg Dich means show yourself, and has this mountain chorus towards the end, and it really is a very good song, I have to admit. Ausländer, this was the first new track I heard, because I was listening to the new album when I was walking home. I think the day after it had just been released. Had on a shuffle. Again, this has got quite a bit of attention, because it's Rammstein, but it's not. It's almost like ramping up the less metal elements. I mean, especially the sort of girly sort of repetition of the word Ausländer after Till Lindemann screams, obviously electrified and synthesized about tenfold. But I mean, it's a great song, obviously. You probably don't have to be German to realise Ausländer roughly translates to outlander or foreigner. Then, of course, it's about someone who finds a way to have sex with a lot of girls because they know exactly what to say to them, because he knows all the different languages, and so that's why there's a mixture of Russian and obviously primarily German, English, French, Italian, all different kinds of languages in there. It's a really catchy song. It's actually one of the best on the album. I'll probably have to put it just behind actually the next song that comes up. Definitely probably nearly on par with Deutschland. It really is a great song, Ausländer. Sex, really, really catchy riff. I mean, a riff as hedonistic as its title, it really is just a great song, Sex. I think it's probably the best on the album, if not one of them. It is pure Rammstein. It's just tongue-in-cheek. I mean, I don't know German, so thankfully the lyrics aren't as traumatising to me, or as graphic as they probably are. I think the word flesh is used in there quite a lot, but that's another great song. Then Pup or Puppa, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that one. This, of course, has got, I think, probably the most traction on the album, I'd say, because it's about 4 minutes long. The first 2 minutes, the first half of it, is this really nice, gentle song, which, of course, is quite uncharacteristic of Rammstein, although we do get a song later on that. Number 8 on this album, Diamant, is a kind of slow song, but we'll get to that one in a minute. The opening half of Puppa or Pup is very kind of soft, and then immediately explosive into this Lindemann chanting, Das Eile Papa De, kind of really, that's not the official lyric, but, just screeching into this, and obviously you can probably get a taste of what it's about before you read the lyrics, but reading up on the lyrics, it's about a guy who obviously is in the mental hospital, and the pup means puppet or doll, and he tears it off, and, and it's an amazing song. I mean, it's just so metal, as cliche a term as that sounds, and it's just brilliant. It's got Lindeman's rawest vocals. It's just amazing. It's a really good song, I think, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see that one performed live, I think. Was ich liebe, again, it's a bit more of a, not a ballad, but it's by Rammstein standards. It takes a little bit of a while to build up, but when it does, it really is. It's a good song, that. It is a good song. Diamant, I don't know if it's one of my favourites or not one of my favourites. I keep finding myself humming along to it, but it's obviously, when I listen to Rammstein, not usually what I'm aiming to listen to, but I mean, it's not a bad song. It's definitely grown on me. But yeah, if you really like the proper metal Rammstein with like a bit of pop and techno in there, a bit of groove, it probably isn't your type of song. Weit Weg or Weit Weg is, in my opinion, probably the most forgetful in a way that I don't exactly remember what it sounds like. But yeah, it's good. I think probably Weit Weg and Tattoo, the next song, are some of the most Rammstein songs on the album, especially Tattoo. Is very got a very nice contagious lick, at the beginning. So they're both really good songs. Hello Man has got some of the creepiest lyrics when you translate them into English. I think it means announcer or something, but it's, again, it builds up, and it's a bittersweet ending, but it really is it's a good song. I mean, they're all good songs, really. I think highlights probably have to be Deutschland, Radio, Ausländer, and Sex, with a definite honourable mention going to Pop or Papa. I mean, it is actually just a very good album. I mean, as I said, this got me into Rammstein. I really wasn't a big Rammstein fan. I'm not really a huge Rammstein fan. But I'd heard a couple of the songs, America and a few others. And I decided to take the plunge and listen to this when it came out. And I was just blown away. I mean, I really was. I thought this is a really good album. And started listening to the rest of their back catalogue. Du hast, I Versucht. I think most of Rise Rise or Reese. I'm probably getting the German terms really badly, so I apologise to any German listeners. But yeah, I mean, this is a very good album, and I suppose if you're looking for like pure Rammstein, you probably won't find a lot of it here. You won't find all of it here, but I mean, this album is I'd still say it's very close to what Rammstein did. So a lot of fans who say, "Oh, this is not at all what it was like," I don't really agree with them personally. But it's a good album. I would suggest buying it. If you really care that much about money, perhaps wait a little while for it to come down in price. But actually, it is worth close to £17. It's a very good album. It's really heavy at points. And yeah, I hadn't really seen much on YouTube or much images about what exactly the standard CD looked like. But yep, it's a normal, twofold sort of case. CD on one hand, and a little booklet in here, which is really nice fold out, and it's a lot of care's been put into this, and it's just a really nice cover and a nice spine, and it's going to look really good on my shelf. And yeah, it's a really good start to what may well be a Rammstein collection. So apologies if this video is a bit rambly, but hopefully you have a good time listening to it if you decide to take the plunge. I mean, whether you're into metal or you're a die-hard Rammstein fan, you've only just got into them, whether, you like the harder side of pop, maybe even give this a go. And even if it's not your thing entirely, why not? Today's the day to broaden your horizons. Why not give it a listen? You might even like it. So that was Rammstein's untitled or otherwise eponymous 2019 album Rammstein, reviewed. Lindsay out.